I'm Helen Colebrook from Journal with Purpose, and I'm delighted to be back sharing another journaling video on the Cult Pens YouTube channel today. I'm going to be using my Flexbook for the pages that I create, and Cult Pens very kindly sent me this journal to try out, and I've loved it so much that I've just ordered myself a new one. So as you can see, there's a slight difference in the sizes in these now. I'm absolutely loving being able to throw anything in this journal, and the spine and everything's held up really well. And one of the absolute bonuses for me of this book is they just lay flat beautifully. So yeah, this is the dotted version, medium size. It's slightly thinner than A5, and I've just been able to put all sorts in here, and it's held up really well to watercolors and even a little bit of mixed media, stenciling, all sorts. So if you're looking for a new journal, I'd really recommend it. I think they're quite inexpensive for what they are, and yeah, just great if you like adding lots of different creative elements. For the journaling session today, I thought I'd go through a kind of step-by-step tutorial for one of the layouts from within my book. And the page that I'm going to be creating is layout 45 on page 59. If you don't have the book, don't worry, I'm going to be talking you through what I'm doing at each stage. But I know that some people who do have it have said they'd really enjoy seeing videos of me actually recreating some of these pages. I'll be using slightly different supplies because I don't have all of these things, but I'll be sticking to this as a main kind of format. The first thing I want to do is add some washi tape down my left-hand page. I always find that washi tape is a really lovely way to kind of ease yourself into those blank pages. And I'm going to add 2 strips. These are both MT washi tape. So I'm going to add a gold strip first and then layer some of this text MT tape as well. I have lots of rolls of washi tape, and you'll see that many of my spreads have some washi tape in there somewhere. So I just always think it's such a lovely way to kind of get started and feel that you've got some colour on your page. And as you'll see, like I just did there, if you lay it down a little bit wrong, it's really easy to reposition. And because this tape is made from paper, you can just simply tear it as well. So I'm just layering that slightly over the first strip, and then I'm just going to trim off the edges. And the next thing I often like to do is think about a focal point for my page. And on this one, I did a rose. So I'm going to start off by sketching something very similar on this page. And I'm going to do it in pencil first, and I'm going to be using a Derwent Precision pencil. I'm not sure how well the pencil sketching will show up on camera, but I'll be coming back and inking this in anyway. Now that I've got that flower shape in pencil, I'm going to ink it in, and I'm going to use a Sakura Pigma Micron pen. And I really like using these because they're waterproof, and I'm going to be adding some wet medium on the top, and I'm using a 02 nib. And now I've got that shape on my page, I'm just going to erase any of the pencil markings that are showing. For colouring in this rose, I'm going to be using some of the Derwent Inktense pencils. I absolutely love how vibrant these are. And I'm going to be adding water afterwards. So I'm going to start off using a combination of the poppy red and fuchsia colours. And I want to start off with the inside, quite a deep colour. So we've got that right in the centre fold of the petals. And you don't need to be terribly precise with these, which is another reason I love them, because we're going to be blending them out with water. And I'm going to be using pink towards the top and outside of the petals. So now I've got that first layer of the red, I'm going to lightly add some pink in all of the other places, but as I said, not precisely. And for the leaves and stem, I'm going to use the leaf green, and I'm just going to apply this on one half of the leaf. Now that we have that colour applied in pencil, I'm going to start adding water, and if I feel I need any more colour, I can always come back in and add that afterwards. But I'm going to just start mixing this around and blending it out into the other colours. I just love how vibrant these pencils get as soon as you add water to them. So I'm just mixing that red up into the pink colour. And I'm going to carry on doing that all the way around the flower. And I find Inktense pencils are particularly good if you're going away and want to take your journal with you and don't want lots of wet mediums, things like watercolour. Then taking some Inktense pencils and possibly a water brush, which is really handy way of being able to create and get that lovely watercolour effect. And now I've got the flower done, I'm going to move on to the leaves. Again, I'm going to wet them and then just start moving that pigment up the leaf so we get that nice variation. And these Flexbooks certainly don't have watercolour paper in them, but I find that they just hold up really well as long as you're not too heavy-handed with them. And before I move on to my next stages, I'm just going to quickly dry this off just to make sure that I don't smudge it. The next thing I want to do is add a quote on my left-hand page, and the quote I used in here is "Where flowers bloom, so does hope" by Lady Bird Johnson. And for this I'm going to use a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen with a firm nib. And then I'm going to add a dashed border all the way around both pages. The next thing I want to do for some decoration is to add a little stamping. So I've got some stamps and a black ink pad. And my stamping often doesn't come out perfectly, especially since my journal is so chunky now. But I'm not really worried about that. I just want to bring a little bit more black onto both sides. And I really like how a little bit of stamping can just bring some extra visual interest to your pages. And now that I've got a bit of black on both sides, I also want to bring some of this colour onto this side too. So I'm just going to colour inside this stamp. And it's certainly not essential, but it is something I like to try and do, is just balance my pages a little bit. For my journal writing, I'm going to do a little bit of reflective journaling, and in each of the chapters in this book, after the layouts, there's some writing prompts. So it's got things like what's going on in the world around you, what do you spend lots of time thinking about, is there anything troubling you at the moment. So I'm going to use those as inspiration for the sorts of things that I'll be writing about. And I'm going to be using my Kaweco Sport fountain pen, and I've got a lovely pink ink in here at the moment, and it's the Pilot Iroshizuku ink, and I'm not sure how you say this, tsutsuji possibly, but it's a really beautiful pink coloured ink, so I thought that would tie in nicely with these pages. That is my journal pages now nearly complete. The only thing I want to do is just add a little bit of that washi tape on this page too. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed seeing how I put those journal pages together and learning a little bit about some of the prompts that I use to help get me documenting in my journals. Well, I hope you're doing really well. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking with you really soon in my next video.